In the animal kingdom, gorillas often greet each other with a hug. Certain species of penguins propose to their partner with a pebble. Female lions do all the hunting for their family. Orcas live with their parents their whole lives. While every family is different and every family is unique, the truth is, they're still our fam.
Hey everyone, it's Matt. Welcome to another Tank Talk. Hey, today let's talk about family. It's the one thing that we all have in common. Of course, our families can look really different from each other. For some of us, family means like one parent and a few siblings, or it might mean two parents and no siblings, or it might mean a father and a stepmother, a father and a stepfather, and 4 half brothers and sisters, or it may mean 3 dogs and your dad and his girlfriend who lives with you and her daughter. Maybe your family is the one that adopted you, or the aunt and uncle you live with now, or maybe it's the foster family you live with, or the friends around you who feel more like your family. When we talk about family, it can look so different for each of us. Families can be the biological family you live with, or the biological parents you've never met. Your extended family members, people who aren't related to you but have become part of your family, the foster family you live with, or the family who adopted you, your chosen family, like your friend group, your small group, or a trusted adult in your life. No matter what yours currently looks like or has looked like in the past, we all come from and are part of a family of some kind. A fam that, like it or not, is ours. So since we're talking about families, let me introduce you to mine. This is my wife, Carrie. We met in high school. We dated for a long time and then got married. After a few years, we had Ethan. Pretty quickly after that, we had Isabella. And a little while later, we had Avery. Oh, and we also have a dog. Now, here's the thing. I know not everyone likes being around their fam, and it's because family can be stressful and unpredictable and even exhausting at times. There's fighting and health issues. Maybe there's divorce, lying, rules you don't understand, yelling. All these things and more can make a family a lot more, well, complicated. Now add faith to that equation. Believe it or not, faith, what each of you believes or doesn't believe, can make things even more complicated with your family. Whether you've been a Christian for a long time or this Jesus thing is really new to you, here's what I want you to know. Faith can create tension in your family. Maybe you know this to be true because your faith is really important to you. And what you believe influences the way you live, and the way you live impacts your family, and that's complicated because you have a parent or a step-parent or a sibling who doesn't see faith the same way that you do. Simply put, they aren't Christians and you are. Or maybe they are Christians, but they give you a hard time for taking it so seriously, and honestly, you're not sure if you're supposed to talk about any of this faith stuff with them at all. They believe something totally different than you do, and that feels strange. It's like you're on maybe 2 totally different pages. Or maybe for you, faith impacts your fam in a different way because in your home, it's your mom or your foster parent or your grandparent who's really into this Jesus stuff. They love reading the Bible and going to church, and they think that you should love it too. But if you're honest, you aren't all that interested. In fact, maybe you're here because someone in your family made you watch this. Maybe you're forced to come and watch this because they want you to believe what they believe. Or maybe they sent you to this link as a punishment for something that you did, and they think a little faith can fix you. For you, faith is certainly making things more complicated in your family. Or maybe you aren't really sure about how your faith and family mix. Maybe you've always just said that you believe because your parents told you to. But as you get older, you're not sure what you really think. But still, you're told to honor your parents, and as a middle schooler, you don't always get a lot of choice in the matter, so you keep going through the motions, but inside you're struggling. And because you can't talk to your family about it, it's making things at home a little different. See what I mean? In one way or another, faith can create tension in families, which is confusing because we're also told that faith is somehow supposed to make things better in our family. But that doesn't always feel like it's true, does it? So the question is, if faith can create tension in our families, how do we make sure that our faith is actually helping to make our families better? The good news is we have an answer to that question. It's something that Jesus himself actually said. And a guy named John, one of Jesus' closest friends and followers, wrote it down so that we could learn from it today. Now, before I tell you exactly what Jesus said, let me explain a little bit about what was happening when he said it. Just before Jesus was going to be arrested and eventually killed on the cross, he called his close friends and followers together for a meal. And even though Jesus had warned them that he was going to die, they really didn't understand. It didn't click with them that this was going to be the last meal that they shared together as a family. To them, they were just doing what they always did, sitting around a table, sharing a meal, talking about life. But because Jesus knew that the way things were about to go, he wanted to share a few important words with his closest people. So at the dinner, he dropped his important truth to his family. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. The word disciples simply means that you follow Jesus. Jesus was saying that people will know we follow him and believe in him by the way that we love each other. Jesus knew difficult times were coming, that his friends would be scared, persecuted, and even tempted to turn their back on him. Yet when it all came down to it, Jesus took this one last opportunity to remind them that loving each other was the most important thing that they could do. Loving each other was the way that they could show the world that they believed in him. Loving each other was a way that their faith could make an impact. And you know what? I think the same can be true for our families. If we want faith to do more than create tension in our family, if we want it to actually impact our families for the better, it's not about winning them to your side. It's not about convincing each other to believe the same thing or arguing about what's true or right. It's just about love. Because loving your family is how your faith can make an impact. And of course that isn't always easy. Loving your family the way Jesus asks us can be really difficult. In fact, some days it may be the hardest thing that you're called to do. But I think Jesus knew that. I think that's why he didn't leave us to figure out how to do this on our own. A few years later, God led a guy named Paul to write a bunch of letters to churches to instruct and encourage them in their faith. They were living after Jesus' death and resurrection, and honestly, most of them were a lot like us. They were people just trying to figure out how to do this whole faith thing and how it impacted the different parts of their life. And in one of the letters, Paul laid out for them and us exactly what it looks like to love others. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. When Jesus calls us to love one another, this is what he's asking us to do: to be patient and kind and humble and respectful and selfless, to not get easily upset and hold grudges, to protect and to trust and to hope and to stick it out with the people around us, to love your family the way Jesus calls us to love them. You see, loving your family is how your faith can make an impact. Love is where it starts. So no matter what you believe or what your family believes when it comes to faith, this is something that we can all do. We can all try to love the people in our family just a little more. If you're doing it because you love Jesus, that's great. But if you're not sure what you believe about Jesus, try loving your family still, and it can still make things better. So this week, here's what I want you to think about. What does it look like to love your family? It could mean being patient and kind to the adults in your home, to not be arrogant when you talk about your beliefs with your family members who believe something different, to not be jealous of what your siblings have, or to be rude to your mom or hot-tempered and quick to react to your dad. Whatever it is, give that a try this week. And to help you not get overwhelmed, start by picking just one. Pick just one of the many ways that you can show love that Paul listed in this letter, and start there. Focus on that one, and you'll see that love is how our faith makes our family better. Because honestly, love is what changes people. Love is what faith is all about. And even if it doesn't change them, it can change you. Remember, loving your family is how your faith can make an impact. If you're in one of our small groups on Thursday, we'll chat about this some more. Actually, we hope that maybe some of our small groups can become sort of like your family here at church. A safe place for you to open up and ask questions and share some of what you're going through with people who love you and want what's best for your life. And so as you go about your day today, I want you to think about this question. What's one way that I can show my family love this week?